Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. I'm very happy that we get the opportunity to present our project group to you today. I'm Maren. I'm one of the co-leads, and we will introduce ourselves throughout the presentation later on. At first, I want to give you a brief overview of the Space Safety and Sustainability Project Group, who we are and what we do. So in core, the Space Safety and Sustainability Project Group wants to provide a platform for students and young professionals so that we can contribute to technical and policy debates on space safety and sustainability. So our group basically explores current and future trends on space safety and sustainability. And as you can see here on the slides, we have three main goals, let's say. The first one is to identify key issues in areas of space safety and sustainability relating to current and future space operations. On the other hand, we want to examine the safety and long-term sustainability of outer space activities. And we want to create an international space forum to showcase your view, so the Space Generation's view on space safety and sustainability, and for the better of the space environment. Next slide, please. So to give you a bit more background on our project group, we've been now at SJC for about 9 years. So since 2011, we've been established together with 8 other project groups at that time. And throughout the years, we have presented numerous papers and reports at the UN, but also mostly at the International Astronautical Congress. And with these reports and papers, we want to strive and raise awareness about space safety and sustainability. So all issues related to that. And to give you a quick overview of our topics we discussed, for example, space debris is one core aspect we explore. And here, for example, we mapped and prioritized objects in the space debris environment, but also made research on active debris removal technologies. For example, in 2018, we did some research on space-based lasers and how they could be used to remove debris from the debris belt. Other activities were also done on human safety. So for example, for long-term missions, we did some spacesuit design research and safety analysis, but also risk analysis of manned missions, for example, but also just recently finished a paper on astronaut mental health, which is also something important if you go on long-term missions. And another core aspect of our project group is education and outreach. We did some reports about all activities, all research or outreach, especially outreach activities related to space safety and sustainability. And back in 2014, we were a bit more active, or the co-leads at that time were a bit more active. They participated and organized the Space Up in Milan. So we did, the group themselves did some outreach. But basically, we want to share awareness on the space safety issue to the public. As mentioned here, we also have did a lot of journal publications, mainly in Acta Astronautica. And as mentioned before, we did a lot of presentations at IAC. I think since 2014 or something, we were present every year with at least one paper. Next slide, please. Thanks. So who we are, Anne-Marlene and I are present here. We are the current co-leads. I am, in my day-to-day job, let's say, I'm a PhD researcher at the University of the Bundeswehr here in Munich, Germany. My focus is on artificial intelligence for space applications. And in that regard, I'm focusing on how to make spacecrafts more autonomous and how to make them more safe. I've been with SJC since about 2016. At first, just a member, not doing much. Then I participated in 2018 at my first Space Generation Congress, and in that year also participated or joined the Space Safety and Sustainability Project Group, and now I'm the co-lead since February 2020. And yes, in June, Anne-Marlene joined me.
Hi everyone. So my name is Anne-Marlene Rüede. I'm since June 2020, the co-lead with Maren of the Space Safety and Sustainability Project Group. So my background is in space and extreme environments architecture. I'm from Switzerland and I just started a PhD at the EPFL Space Center, also called eSpace. I work there on the Sustainable Space Logistics Initiative. We can continue with the slides.
Yeah, thank you. To give you more overview of our members, you can see here their current status and their professional background. And as you can see, we are widespread. So we have bachelor students, master students, young professionals, PhDs, and their background is also widespread, even though it's more focused on engineering at the moment, but we hope to change that. Because space safety is not only about technology and engineering, it's also about law and policy and science in general. So right now we have each year always about 50 members active, spread over 4 to 5 or even 6 projects. Next slide. And they come from all over the world, not only developed, but also developing countries. As you can see, we have members from Asia, so the majority is from Asia, but also Europe, Africa, North America, Australia, like basically all over the world. Okay, thank you. Next slide. And now Anne-Marlene will take over.
Okay, so I will have the pleasure to talk to you about the projects, teams, and initiatives. So keep your eyes open. So just to tell you a little bit about the structure of the project. So we have several projects each year that run in parallel. They start and end on a rolling basis. And they each have different lengths and also different team sizes. So some of the projects have only a few people and some of the projects may have a good dozen people. So one team member typically will be invested in one project of their choice. And currently we have about 6 major projects. In every end of the year, there is a call for projects. So if anybody has an idea they would like to share, something they would like to work on, they're of course welcome to submit their idea. And in 2020, we started a new initiative, which is focusing on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, also called SDGs. So for the moment, there are 2 projects in this initiative on which I will come back just now. In terms of outputs, the main outputs are research papers, article, reports, but there is also many more. And you can find a lot of our outputs on the website and also on social media. We have Facebook and Twitter. We'll come back to it later. Next slide, please. So let's start with the first project. So the UN SDGs Biosphere is the first project that is part of this new initiative. Its objective is to identify the ways in which the space industry can contribute to achieving the SDGs. So just to talk a little bit about the SDGs, they can be divided into 3 different categories, which are biosphere, economy, and society. And this project actually specifically deals with the biosphere aspect. So it contains 4 of the 17 SDGs. These are number 6, clean water and sanitation, number 13, climate action, number 14, life below water, and number 15, life on land. Next slide, please. So no surprise here. We're coming to the second project, which is part of this initiative, and this is the UN SDGs Economy Project. So this time, same general objective, but this time 4 different goals which are looked at, and these are number 8, decent work and economic growth, number 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure, number 10, reduced inequalities, and number 12, responsible consumption and production. So these 2 projects have just started. Next slide, please. So the third project I will present to you is the Space Environment Project. So this project has been ongoing for a few years with different focuses. Its objective is to research the impact that the space environment has on astronauts' health and safety. So past editions have covered subjects such as food and nutrition and hygiene. There have been, as a result, several publications in the International Astronautical Congress. And just to give you a little bit of an example of the type of contribution that these projects make, one of the main findings of the food and nutrition focus was identifying the main risks that are linked to in situ growth of food on the Moon, Mars, and Venus using mathematical modeling. So risk mitigating strategies were also proposed as a follow-up. And of course, being able to grow food in situ is really a key technology for enabling human exploration missions. This year's focus is the mental health of astronauts. Next slide, please. Okay, so the fourth project we'll present today is education and outreach analysis. So this project researches and writes educational reports related to space and safety sustainability. Space safety and sustainability, sorry. So there is an analysis of the current situation relating to education in specific subjects in space safety and sustainability. So 2 volumes have already been published in this project. These are on the subjects of space situational awareness and also on space weather, specifically on the effects on space missions. So currently there's a 3rd volume that's in progress, which is specifically on space safety. And its objective is to highlight technological and legal challenges associated with the safety of aerospace endeavors. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is now the essay competition. We also have a competition which has started in 2019 with its 1st edition. So this year, the project will focus on organizing a 2nd essay competition on a specific aspect of space safety and or sustainability. So to give you, again, a little bit of an example of what can be discussed in these competitions, last year's winner argued that an environmental impact assessment tools that are developed for Earth can be adapted to space, and that this would enable to develop a sustainable industry before unforeseeable risks of new technologies permanently damage irreplaceable resources and locations. This year's, sorry? Oh. So this year's topic will be slightly different. The question will be, what space traffic management measures should be implemented internationally to improve the safety and sustainability of outer space? So if you're interested, look it up. The call will open around October 2020. And of course, the winning publication will be published online. So next slide, please. Oh, okay, next one. Sorry. So another project which is also currently in preparation is a space safety and sustainability newsletter. So this will be a monthly, probably monthly newsletter. The 1st edition will come out around August, and it will include news from our projects, but also news from our members and how they support space safety and sustainability throughout their work. There will also be interesting and relevant articles, podcasts, events, and international news related to space safety and sustainability. So if you're interested, you can of course also subscribe to the newsletter, and we would be happy to share all of this with you. And now I will let Maren continue.
Yes, thank you, Anne-Marlene. So if you've now been inspired by all our projects, we would be happy to have you on board. So just drop us an email with your background, just a short description about yourself, and maybe you already have project ideas or anything you would like to work on with our project group and our vast majority of members. And please also make sure to check out our website. So there's everything described there, what we just said. So just check it out and then drop us an email if you're interested in joining. Next slide. And as Anne-Marlene mentioned, we are also on social media. So we have a Facebook channel and a Twitter account. So make sure to follow us there as well. We will share especially the newsletter information soon there as well. And any other things related to space safety will be published there as well. And with this, we are open to questions.